A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East.
Islamic eschatology, there are three great signs of the end of history. Three great signs. There are some lesser signs, or some minor signs, and some major signs. In their eschatology, again quoting their sources exclusively, there are three great signs of the end of history.
So there's been a lot of talk whether this might be the end times. From a Christian perspective, there's a lot of things going on that can make you think that. But here's an interesting question. What about Islam? Do they view this as the end times in their eschatology as well? So I thought it'd be good to make a video kind of examining real quickly what Islam views regarding the end times.
And each of them is a man. Let me tell you about those three men. First of all, the first man that will come in the end of history is the Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I. Sometimes he's called the 12th Imam. Every time Ahmadinejad over in Iran gives a speech, he says, "Glory to the Mahdi, glory to the 12th Imam." Every time. He's waiting for the coming of the Mahdi. What is he coming to do? He's coming, listen carefully, to slaughter all who will not worship Allah, convert to Islam. They are identified in their writings as pigs and dogs, and to establish the everlasting, world-dominating kingdom of Islam. That's what he will do. The Mahdi, or the 12th Imam, that means the guided one, is the long-awaited Savior. He is the establisher of the final caliphate. And the world must follow him as he takes over, or he will destroy all enemies of Islam. He will come and he will carry on holy war, and either you convert or you're killed by the Mahdi. He will have an army. His army will be a massive army, and his army will go from nation to nation to punish the unbelievers.
In Christianity, the end times are often associated with the second coming of Jesus. Christian denominations might vary in their interpretations, but the common belief is that Jesus will return to judge the living and the dead. The book of Revelation is often referenced for apocalyptic imagery and events leading to the end of the world, but in Islam, the end times are outlined in Islamic eschatology, primarily derived from their holy book, the Quran, and the Hadith, which are sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe in the Day of Judgment, interestingly, where all individuals will be resurrected and judged based on their deeds. The Quran describes signs of the approaching end times, including the appearance of the Mahdi, who is considered a guided leader, and the return of Jesus, believe it or not, who is considered a prophet in Islam. So while both of the religions anticipate a day of judgment and resurrection, the specific events, figures, and timelines associated with the end times differ based on the teachings of Christianity and Islam.
The holy writings of Islam say that this army will carry black flags. And on those black flags, there will be one word, and that one word will be the word punishment. By the way, the Iranian army today carries black flags. They want to be ready for the coming of the Mahdi. He will lead the army of black flags first to Israel, slaughter all the Jews, and then he will establish his rule in Jerusalem on the Temple Mount. That's what their literature says. Slaughter the Jews, establish his rule on the Temple Mount.
In the end, the role of Israel is also larger for Christians because, as Dr. MacArthur points out, there's a plan for them in the end.
So what I would say is this, that Israel is protected in a measure and absolutely preserved as a people until the future day of their salvation. But it is when that salvation comes that all the fullness of the promises given to Abraham and David and reiterated in the prophets and the new covenant passages in Ezekiel and Zechariah and Jeremiah, that all explodes on them when they turn to the one they've pierced, mourn for him as an only son, and a fountain of cleansing is open to them. But the fact that they exist and that they're there is evidence that God is working in that direction.
So in the end, I think both Christians and Muslims believe we are in the end times. However, Muslims believe everyone will convert to Islam. Therefore, Israel will be not only wiped out, but anyone that's left will be converted. Where Christians believe Israel will turn to Jesus as their king. And then the apostasy that we currently see in Israel will begin ushering in a change in the world as Jesus arrives at the second coming. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd be curious of what thoughts you might have and maybe even further insights into how Muslims are viewing the fighting in the Middle East right now and how it relates to the end times in their writings. And with all things, continue to pray for peace in Jerusalem.